Hey, so you might think I'm weird, and I don't want to say I don't care, but I kind of do, just as long as it's the weird that gets a good look because I believe in God, and I know you might see me do some weird things or talk about some weird things on my channel, but I mean Twitter also, and because I like a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I'm only human. Okay, I cannot lie. I can, but I don't feel the need to lie about a lot of things. Um, but the title that I wrote for this is to give people that 100% motivation again, because when you hear someone else crying about something, you become alert. And no matter if you try to ignore it or if you try to help the person, you have or don't help the person, you have a sense that is different from where you once were before. Now, you probably already was um, feeling that vibe of having someone cry. That's a whole different feeling that you get, or if you cry yourself. But what I've really witnessed and realized that no matter, and I'm just as human as you guys, I haven't seen a perfect person in this world. So my thing is, God gives you your wants and your needs, and He will provide your needs in ways that you may not see may be in need. But just know, for my awakened people out there who can hear me, you might want to consider knowing that when you cry and you pray for something, that God hears it. That's the number one thing. You have to believe first, okay? Knowing is second hand. Because you cannot, it's sometimes you can't know things, and you want to believe in it, or you can believe in it but you don't know exactly how it all works out. So there's a scripture out there that says, when you cry, God cries too. And there's another passage that was summarized, and I give you the title of it. When I was on my computer, I was searching. It said, God will not reproach you for the tears you shed as you walk through the ruins of our broken world. Now, you can take that however you want to take it, but my favorite is, the God of all comfort keeps watch over your weeping. The God of all comfort keeps watch over your weeping. So you may not believe that because you say you never seen God before. Well, that's the whole point. God is not in a human form. Jesus was the only one in human form. God is just a spirit. So even when Jesus was walking around by himself, he did not have another male human figure there to encourage him. He had people, his disciples, people he ran into that helped him along the way, and that he helped along the way. But God was never even in human form. So God was a spirit. So that is a sacrifice. And if God is inside of Jesus, which is the spirit, you have a choice to do good and do bad. So you have a God like spirit. You chose not to use it. Your spirit might be burnt out to the fact that it's your soul that needs the most help. So that's a whole nother story. Um, because you are supposed to be born with a godlike soul. So if you made a decision in your life to um, have a different lifestyle that rejects a lot of godly like things that are not going to harm you, then that may be the issue. Um, there's many scriptures that say, when you cry, I cry also. So, therefore, nobody should be feeling lonely to the point to where they want to take their own life. No one should be feeling lonely to the point to where they need to take someone else's life either. Because for one, look how many times Jesus had used himself as an example in the Bible. He didn't have anybody else to look up to that was greater than the human flesh, but what he knew inside, which was right, which was the God that was inside of him. So he was a human form, but even he had to depend on someone he couldn't see. You have to depend on something you cannot see also. So that's the whole point of preaching. Okay, that's the whole point of having faith and living a lifestyle full of prosperity, by following and knowing who to look up to. Bottom line. I mean, not everybody get it, but now you do get it, okay? So there's no way in the world that, even though Jesus couldn't see certain things, he knew to call on his Father for help, and his Father is God. That's it. That means call on your inner self, call on your common sense, call on your humbleness, call on your thankfulness, your happiness, call on your wisdom to um to put more power into you moving forward, or whatever type of thing that you're trying to do. Whatever your heart desired, if it's in a good way, then God knows which is you, with which is the spirit from within, pretty much. So, when God cries, you cry. When you cry, God cry. Because it's just the similarity in it that makes you feel um, aware that whatever has happened, if it's not a comfort to you, then I'm pretty sure you would turn to your inner self to figure out a way for that not happening again, whatever it was. You can do exactly what you feel is necessary, um, but do know there are other scriptures out there. So, I mean, just think about people who don't have family, people who are out there doing it by themselves without any help, or knowing someone around them that they may not be spiritually there and healthy for the person, but if you want to be that type of person to say God put you in this place, in this position, for this and that, okay, well then you have believed that. But if you don't want to be somewhere and you want something greater, then you will put that trust within yourself to even acknowledge something else of a higher power to get you to believe even more that something is going to happen for you greatly, for you to prosper in life, so you can have a blessed lifestyle and a blessed life. So, and that's not too much to ask for, because he wants he, which is God, your inner self, you want to be living good too. Boom. So that's God right then and there. Some people don't even know who God is. I said, well, how do you not know who God is? God is what? They keep saying that he, which is not good for them to say. God need to be more, um, God needs to be more known as a spirit to help other people. They say it's a he in the Bible, but people need to understand that people will understand the spiritual part more, because they cannot sit there, and some people, it may be hard for some people to just believe that, this whole religious thing, and they're experiencing life, and they may have not have had the type of family that told them about what others are preached inside of their home. So that's the whole thing that might be, um, but I definitely would not consider anybody feeling lonely about making a decision that they need help. Um, he does not want you to put all your trust in man. That's the flesh. It says flesh in the Bible. In some other Bibles, it says man. But you are supposed to put all your trust in him and not just the people on the face of the earth because they can disappoint you. And he said, I will never disappoint you. But if anything changes and you're out there learning, trying to learn on your own, you don't have anybody to guide you, but you kind of do, but you kind of don't, then that's the perfect opportunity for you to start practicing that, and then other people will see more about you, and then they will know, what to do with their own lives. This is how you can save other people. um, just think about how many churches you've seen out there, that were vacant and or had a very small amount of people attending the church, and it was a really big church. Well, 9 times out of 10, that churches, those type of churches, don't do anything with the community. They stay behind closed doors, or if they do something like a mission trip, you would never know about it because they're never there, or people from the community don't come in. So when people start scaring people that God is this person who's going to start punishing you of everything that you've done that's a sin in the Bible, and scaring people, and start talking about that everyone is, that if you start teaching everybody the same thing and stop making them feel like God is this person, and think of it as God is a spirit which is in you, to get that person to feel good about themselves at least. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't even practice that, but that's what you have to do. That's the trick and magic to get someone to, I mean, think about it. You get everybody else to do something in a magical way to get them to listen to one of your hints you're trying to give out or something, and you can't find a way to get somebody to feel good about what you're getting ready to say. You can't find nothing clever, nothing creative to get them to understand what you're trying to say. And it's not even in a harsher way, so it's something good they shouldn't be missing out on. If you know God has given you that gift, then why sit there and talk about somebody and waste it? Because you may not know how to work with the spirituality part of yourself. Bottom line. So, 13 minutes. See you guys.